Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Critical Reactions with your host Bryan. We're going to do a bonus video today for Pride Month, and the one I've selected for today is Angel Vivaldi. Now, at first, I thought my monitor was broken when I saw the title of this, but I quickly realized it was Morse code. The song is called Short, Long, 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 and I had to look that one up, but it's actually just the number 1. So maybe this is just the first track of the album. Clever way of putting that, but yeah. Alright, let's get into this. Angel Vivaldi's 1. Beautiful opening chord. Yeah, a little genty, but a really nice melody over top it all. Yeah, it's a wild little triplet feel. Nice little drum fill there. Yeah, really emphasizing some offbeats here. Beautiful melody line over all this, though. Yeah, we've entered a nice 3 feel. Yeah, we're back to the 4 now. Yes, toss some harmonies on that. Yeah, we got a nice 3 feel back again. Although actually I'd push for a 6. Oh, I love the body expression of what he's playing. Oh, and this is nice. We've actually moved back to 4 while retaining a lot of that 3-pulse feel. Drum fill was nasty. Alright, and back to what I would probably call more of the chorus. It seems to be the sole repeated idea of the song. Yeah, I like this this reimagining of that line. Ooh. Dude, all these drum fills are so nice. Yeah, so that, man, I wonder if there's any reason that they chose to move between 4/4 and I'm pretty certain it's a 6/8. It could be the part could be written in 3/4, but it feels more like 6/8 to me. With the way that I count the emphasized beats. Um, Most of the time in those sections, the drummer emphasizes 1 and then 5 of non-emphasized. So it could be an alternating pattern in 3, but I would probably write that in 6 with the accent on 1. But regardless, as I've talked before, time signature is not really something that is too important. It's more about the feeling. Time signature is important when you're a composer wanting to tell tell a conductor or tell a performer what your vision is of it and kind of what the feeling is of the music you've written. Any pattern can be written in any time signature. You just got to work more. It's kind of like key signatures. Actually, you can write everything in a C time key signature. No sharps, no flats. In the by default, you could say, and then you could put accidentals on every single note that you are going to have a flat or a sharp of. That's sort of the same way here. Time signature gives you a bit of a shorthand based on convention of what the feeling, the pulse of your music should be. So it doesn't matter if it's actually 3/4 or 6/8, which is why I really don't spend too much time really focusing in on whether it is or not. To me, it feels like 6/8. If I were to transpose it, I'd write it in 6/8, but you could just as well put it in 3/4. But yeah, those are not two time signatures that usually get run together. Usually, from what I've seen in a lot of metal, when we've checked out, and rock, just kind of prog across the board, whether it's, classic prog rock or modern prog metal, is that sort of that 3 pulse and the 4 pulse will be played against each other to create a sort of hiccup, whether it's 4 and 3 alternating, so you basically get 7/4, or whether it's something like 4/4/4/3, which gives you that hiccup at the end, which feels like you're skipping every 4, or you're tripping every 4 bars. Having them smashed together like this is kind of interesting. They have very different feels. And they seem to alternate sections. We will have the 4/4 chorus section, which is that idea that like the super genty sound floor with the real nice melodic line above it. That is the same melodic line for every time they repeat the section, which is why I call it kind of the chorusy section. It's the idea that is revisited between the changing sections. But then the sections that do change, the dynamic ones, they tend to be written in 6. And I wonder, just what the choice of that was, why that was chosen. I mean, it could just be something incredibly simple, like He played one riff and it happened to be in four, and he played another riff in the same key and it happened to be in six. So then we're just gonna alternate four and six. I mean, that happens. I've written like some 11/8 songs just because I've drummed out a drum beat on my chest or something, and when I went to transpose it, it happened to be an 11/8. I didn't plan to write an 11/8 song. There's no significance to it. That's just the rhythm that was in my head. So yeah, there could be no significance to it, but it is an interesting combination. Um, and that kind of leads into everything that I got out of this track. So there's what I said. That four and the six, they're different. They don't really get pushed together too often. It creates a large contrast in the feelings of each of these sections. And contrast to me is the big emphasized point here. Contrast shows up all throughout the song. We have the contrast between sort of the heavier, more bombastic sections and the quieter, sort of more personal, emotive sections. We have contrast between the more melodic writing and the more shreddy writing. Um, we have contrast between a lot of the sections started out just straight melody, and about halfway through, we just started throwing in all this harmony on top of the melody, whether it was a harmonized run, or I think there was one point where we actually saw some counter melody between the two guitars. And then we can also see a lot of contrast in the drummer's playing. He switches around a lot between sort of metronome playing with a slight bit of ornamentation to just all out. Some of it is just what would be the drum equivalent of shred, and some of it is just hyper ornamented, playing the drum as an instrument rather than a metronome. And he kind of jumps between these two ideas too, of like stealing the spotlight and then sitting in the back and laying down a beat, laying down the tempo. And yeah, this whole band is just, or at least let me say, this whole song to me is contrast, and I love every bit of it. I've mentioned many, many times in the past that when it comes to guitar solos, what I personally enjoy most in them is when the guitar solo has a nice fine line between musicianship and storytelling. I do not have a problem with guitarists showing off. You're going to put the time in to learn how to do clean sweep picking and to play quickly and, double tapping and all that. You're going to want to show it off. You're going to want to put it in your music. I get it. I endorse it. I don't think there's no reason anybody should condemn that. But at the same time, I think it needs to flow well and have time to breathe and tell a good story. If you just do 64 bars of shred, you've lost dynamics, you've lost contrast, you've lost pacing, at least as far as I'm concerned. If you're just there to show off, 64 bars of shred is impressive, for sure. But I really enjoy storytelling in my music. It probably just comes from my jazz background, listening to a lot of really good storytelling improvisers, but to me, it's integral to keeping my attention through songs. I was gonna say instrumentals, but that's wrong. You have to have good storytelling and lyrics too. Whether it's your vocal melodic pattern or the words themselves, it still needs to be interesting. Um, so yeah, he jumps between these ideas though, and I think it just works for my tastes very well. He does do a bit of shred. He shows off his techniques. He's a very proficient player, but he also knows when to rein it in a little bit. Hold some notes out, throw some vibrato in there. Really let his solos breathe. The melodic lines tell a story rather than just showcase his skill. And I think that's the key to what I would say is an exceptional musician. And again, I don't want to put down people who do a lot of shred, um, or who only play really emotive, slower pieces that don't necessarily take as much skill to play, but do take a lot of skill to write. I don't want to put down either sides of those coins. It's just for me, this is peak writing as far as I'm concerned. It has a bit of that. that sensationalism of just seeing somebody playing at such an expert level, but the music is also really well written and is a focal point. It's not pushed to the side to act as a to allow the solo to act as a showcase. Um, like I said, it's just done to such an exceptional level, bouncing back and forth and sort of interweaving between these two ideas. And you can even see some of this in the drumming work. I mentioned a few of those fills were just ridiculously clean. But then he would like he'd fall right back into, being a metronome, laying down some tempo, then just bust out this nasty, uh, you know, drum fill. And then there was one section at the end. It was during the like super heavy part. I think it was the only time they actually went to the top of the neck and started playing some low notes. A lot of the song was very bright, actually, which is very cool. It kind of gives me more of a mathy vibe. And yeah, math and gent kind of go together very well. It's interesting because gent is usually known for the lower end rhythmic patterns. Um, and math is known for the higher end sort of just wild playing. Um, but they two go together very well, and I would not mind hearing more, whether it is Angel Vivaldi or anything else that fits within this mashing up of heavy rhythmic lower end stuff mashed with really technical higher end playing. Um, But yeah, so what I was saying though with the drummer there at the end when they got to the heavy lower end part is uh, the drummer was every other bar. Yeah, I think it really was every other bar. But maybe he was just doing 2 bar fills followed by 2 bar of laying down the beat. Um, just like ridiculously impressive, interesting drum fills, tossing in little ideas of embellishment and utilizing, just it feels like he doesn't even have space. There's no time to physically put in another hit, and he finds a way to get like a cymbal way over here, and to fit it into this really nice run. Just wow. Again, just contrast between raw musicianship and understanding what your role is within the story of the song and balancing the two expertly. Um, just the whole band's on another level. This was phenomenal. Um, I do need to listen to it again though, because it is a dense song for sure. And there's actually a lot of things. I was focusing a lot on the guitar and drums. They seem to be doing something interesting at every second. And unfortunately, I don't think I got much of a chance to check out the bass. And I don't know if that's because it was just a little bit out of the mix. I can't believe that the bassist is just that one untalented person in the band. Everybody else is just a god on their instrument, and he's not even walking bass line, just playing root notes. I don't see that being the case. So I think it was just mixed down a bit too low. I don't know. Like I said, I have to give it. I just don't remember anything about the bass, which kind of disappoints me given how enthralling everybody else's performance was. Um, but yeah, I could listen to more of this for sure. There's just such a good level of contrast between two ideas that I normally love already. So bringing them together, that's my chocolate and peanut butter right there. Angel Vivaldi is my chocolate and peanut butter. That's not a sentence I was expecting to say today, and maybe no one else has ever said it. So I guess quote me on it if you want. uh this for you guys coming to hit me up in the comments. Let me know if you enjoyed this and which Angel Vivaldi track I should move on to next. Um, when you're done commenting, I can't even think. The song just blew my mind. When you're done commenting, you can head up to the description box and check out the Linktree link. There's stuff in there for Patreon, Discord, Twitter, special selections, all that stuff's in there. If you want to get a special request in, everything's there. Also, like, subscribe, ring the bell, all those things help out the channel immensely. I'll be back tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 p.m. UTC with the first of this weekend special selection. Then Sunday we'll wrap up the special selection and do a final Yeah, technically, that would be the final day that I've typically done the Pride bonus videos. Maybe I'll try to fit one more in during the week, Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. I mean, I can also just run it through the week as well. As there's nothing saying I can't do bonus Pride videos in July, right? Maybe I'll run one more on Friday. We will see how the week goes. All right, well, until next time, remember to be critical but not cynical of the music you listen to, and have a fantastic morning, afternoon, or evening whenever you choose to watch my videos.